Otis Toole, serial killer and arsonist. Otis Toole was an American serial killer, arsonist, and cannibal, who, along with his partner in crime, Henry Lee Lucas, claimed responsibility for numerous murders across the United States. Toole's criminal activities spanned from the early 1970s to his arrest in the 1980s. His confessions, some of which were later recanted, have left a legacy of unresolved cases and controversy. Background: Otis Elwood Toole. Born, March 5, 1947, in Jacksonville, Florida. Early life: Toole had a troubled childhood marked by abuse and neglect. He suffered from intellectual disabilities and was diagnosed with epilepsy, which led to frequent seizures. Toole's early experiences with violence and sexual abuse influenced his later criminal behavior. Family: Toole's mother was abusive, and he claimed his sister molested him. His grandmother, a self-proclaimed Satanist, introduced him to grave robbing and other macabre practices. Partnership with Henry Lee Lucas. Meeting Lucas. 1976, Toole met Henry Lee Lucas at a soup kitchen in Jacksonville, Florida. The two developed a close relationship, both sexually and criminally, and began a killing spree across several states. Criminal activities. Murder spree: Toole and Lucas claimed to have committed hundreds of murders together, though many of these confessions were later discredited or doubted due to inconsistencies and lack of evidence. Modus operandi: their methods varied but often involved abduction, sexual assault, and brutal killings. Toole was also known for his arson activities, which he described as sexually gratifying. Notable crimes and confessions. Adam Walsh case. 1981, one of Toole's most notorious confessions was the abduction and murder of 6-year-old Adam Walsh in Hollywood, Florida. Adam was the son of John Walsh, who later became an advocate for missing children and the host of America's Most Wanted. Confession and doubts: Toole confessed to Adam's murder, providing details that matched the evidence. However, due to procedural errors, including lost evidence and conflicting statements, Toole was never formally charged with the crime. In 2008, the case was officially closed, and Toole was posthumously named the murderer. Other victims. Random killings: Toole and Lucas often targeted hitchhikers, sex workers, and random individuals. Their confessions included details of murders that were gruesome and varied in nature. Cannibalism: Toole claimed to have engaged in cannibalism, describing how he and Lucas cooked and consumed parts of their victims. Arrest and conviction. Arrest. 1983, Toole was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida, on charges of arson. During his incarceration, he began confessing to numerous murders, often in collaboration with Lucas. Convictions. Convictions and sentences: Toole was convicted of several murders, including the 1983 murder of 19-year-old George Sonnenberg, for which he received a death sentence that was later commuted to life in prison. He was also convicted of the murders of Ada Johnson, a 19-year-old Tallahassee woman, and 3 others. Henry Lee Lucas. Lucas's confessions also led to his conviction for multiple murders. However, like Toole's, many of Lucas's confessions were later found to be unreliable, partly due to his willingness to confess to unsolved crimes for preferential treatment in prison. Death and legacy. Death. 1996, Otis Toole died in prison on September 15, 1996, from cirrhosis of the liver. His death left many of his confessions unverified, with numerous families of victims left without closure. Legacy. Controversy. The confessions of Toole and Lucas sparked significant controversy within law enforcement and the public. Their tendency to falsely confess to crimes for attention and privileges undermined the credibility of genuine confessions. Impact on investigations. The case of Toole and Lucas highlighted the challenges of verifying confessions from serial killers, especially those with a history of lying and manipulation. It underscored the importance of corroborative evidence in solving crimes. Conclusion. As we explore the case of Otis Toole on True Crime, we will delve into the detailed timeline of events, the investigation, and the broader societal implications of his crimes. Join us as we examine the evidence, the impact on the community, and the ongoing debates about justice, law enforcement, and the nature of evil. The story of Ottis Toole serves as a grim reminder of the complexities and challenges inherent in solving crimes involving serial offenders and the enduring quest for justice for the victims and their families.